Well, good morning. My name is Craig Blanchette, and I am a global director with Take Shape for Life. And it's my privilege to bring you this weekly health coach huddle. We do this every Friday. We just started up about a month ago, and we're going to continue on Fridays from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And part of this call, just so you know, if you want to, you can, for those of you that are on live, you can actually listen to this call on a podcast. And if you go to iTunes and type in Team Blanchette, you'll see the podcast link. And it's audio only, but then you can listen to it back. You can even listen to it at a little faster than normal speed. So if you're a podcast user, just search for Team Blanchette and you'll find the podcast. I also publish this on Vimeo and YouTube each week, and so that would be a video, the full video version of it. And you can search for Healthy Huddle or Team Blanchette, and you'll find that as well. So that's if you want to listen to this later on. Sometimes we do cover some things in this call that you may want to send on to a client or another coach or somebody, and so those are ways to find the video later. Another thing I want to remind everybody about is that Take Shape for Life has a on-demand health conversations. There's 3 every week. Doctor call, a nurse call, and a Habits of Health call. And those are all recorded and delivered via podcast as well. And so if you go to whatever podcast player, if you don't know what a podcast is, let me just cover that for a second. In order to listen to the radio, you have to have a device that can receive the radio signal and then broadcast it to you. Make sense? Podcast is very similar. You have to have the player to be able to receive the podcast and then be able to transmit it to you. And so you can download a podcast player to your mobile device or iPad or even computer. And so you would download a podcast player and then you search, which is sort of like tuning into the station you want to listen to on a radio. And so you search for the content or the station that you want. And then the neat thing about podcasting is you can subscribe to that station, and anytime there's new content, it'll automatically deliver it to your phone. So it's a really great way to keep up with your own health journey. And one of the ways I talk to my clients about is you have to have healthy input into healthy conversation pouring into your brain all the time, because it leaks out. And so every week, having some healthy conversation come in, because otherwise, how are we going to change the ways that we think and make this health change a permanent lifestyle change? So it's my privilege to host this call every week. Thanks for showing up. I know we have some guests on, so this is the time of the call where we're gonna actually introduce our guests. And if you are new to Zoom, down in the bottom left corner, you have a little button on your phone or on your computer that you can mute and unmute. And so you can do that. And then what I'll do is, if you're first time on the call, what I'd like you to do is unmute yourself. If you can't figure it out, just wave at me and I'll unmute you. And then tell us your name, where you're from, who invited you, and maybe something you're excited about as far as your health goes. So who would like to go first? I think Mermaid 27 wants to go first.
No, I'm trying to find the
I unmuted you, yeah.
Oh, good, I did? Oh, okay.
Yep. So we can't see you, though. We can only see, like, you're really in vogue, because we can only see one corner of your eye.
Okay. I was trying to find the voice.
You did it. Perfect. All right, so what's your name? Who invited you? And where are you from?
Kid invited me. I'm from California, but I'm in Colorado right now. And what was the other question?
What's your name?
Oh, Trina.
Trina. Well, great.
Yeah.
And is there something you're working on that you're excited about as far as becoming a healthier person?
I just got out of my training session, which is more nutrition. We're not doing the working outside, and so she's finally doing carb cycling and I guess seeing the different weight every day and highs and lows and all that.
Okay. So for your exercise then, hop out of your car and give me 10 push-ups. Ready? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, no. I'm sitting in the car before I go do my workout.
Nice.
Oh, so Kit, how do you know Trina?
I actually know Trina from the new gym that I'm at, 24 Hour Fitness.
Okay.
And I met her the day that she signed up for personal training. And what stood out to me the most about her, not besides her awesome personality, is that she has been doing her own thing for a very long time. Trina, tell everybody how much you've lost on your own doing your stuff by yourself.
70 pounds.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. Kicking butt.
Good job.
She is committed. She's probably at that gym as much as I am, and I get paid to be there. So, killing it. Doing so good. So, yeah, we've just been hanging out and talking and chatting and, just keeping each other accountable. So
that's great.
Yeah.
Her payment isn't in dollars, but it's in feeling awesome, right?
Oh, yeah. She's
cool. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, good job. Well, welcome to the call. We're glad you joined us. Hopefully you'll find some tidbits that you can incorporate. Everybody that's in this meeting this morning is, some of us are health coaches, so we're learning how to help other people on their journey. But everybody that's a health coach also has a health coach. And so we're all clients at heart as well, working on our own. And so we're trying to make this a reality, this new way of living a reality, instead of just a temporary weight loss program or a temporary change. So we do this every week to encourage each other, and you're welcome to join us.
Thank you.
Yep, glad to have you here. And then, by the way, just so you know, there's someone in pink. There's two people in pink this morning, but Linda Benson. So I'm Linda's coach. Linda's Kit's coach. And then Kit invited you to come, so you can kind of see sort of how we all got here. So welcome. Thanks. All right, who else is a guest? I know Ken's a guest, and I'll introduce him in a minute. Anybody else? First time? Debbie, Kit. Looks like everybody else has been here. Sweet. All right, so it's my privilege. We've got John Leifheit, who I don't know if you guys have met him too much yet. He was on last week. He's not able to tune in today, but Ken, he's been working with Ken, and we asked Ken if he would be willing to cover one of the support calls for our Take Shape for Life University, and Ken's agreed. So we'll start with a little bit of an introduction for you, Ken. Where are you from? Obviously, we know your name. It's Ken. And so where are you from? We know John invited you, and tell us just give us an overview of where you started and how much progress you've made in your health journey.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys. Nice to meet you all. My name's Ken Martin. I actually live in Thornton, Colorado. I met John through working with him, and he's been a great coach for me, and I really appreciate his help and support. I just started my 5th week as of Wednesday, and I have lost 39 pounds. I'm a big boy. I started at 385, and I'm down to 346. So I'm pretty excited about that. Things are working well for me. It's something that I think is very doable for me, and I really like that part about it.
Mm-hmm.
Got a long ways to go, but it took a while to get here too, and I tried to do my own thing, but wasn't as successful. So got to follow a program and stick with it, and things are going really well.
Awesome. So good to have you. We'll have some folks as you cover the support call. One of the things that we'll want you to do, if you have it written down, is who was the host of the call, what was the date, so we can refer back to it, because I'm sure you're going to have some nice nuggets for us. But go ahead and so Ken's going to cover 3 sort of noteworthy things from the call that he listened to and why those were important to him, and then we can even have a little discussion on that, and then we'll go from there. So welcome, Ken, and you're on.
Absolutely. So I covered a call that was back on February 10th of this year, done by Lisa Castro, and it's basically dealing with obstacles, but thinking healthy thoughts instead. And a few of the nuggets that I took away from it is we often all hear people tell us we can't do something. You can't do that. You can't do this. And what happens is from what I learned from it is you really got to ask yourself, well, how could I do it? And when everybody starts asking themselves, how could I do something? Your mind automatically starts to get creative. And if you think about that, that happens in a lot of areas in our life. And it just kind of hit me that when I do want to do something, most of the time I've been able to put my mind to it and change things and make it happen by being creative. So find the reasons why you can is basically what she was saying. The other thing too is
before you jump on to the next thing, have you had an instance that you can recall where you changed the question in your mind like that?
Well, I'll give you a personal example. My dad, my father, told me that I couldn't do this. I couldn't lose weight. We're all creatures of habit, and we do things daily, and I kind of took that as a personal challenge. And
you probably got a caller. Okay. Go ahead. Yeah. So you stopped.
It's kind of ironic that afterwards, I met up with John, and things started turning around. So it's just kind of funny. I took that to heart, and I knew that he believed what he was telling me, but I also can't stay this way. So things have to change.
Well, the encouraging thing there, Ken, for you is that there's, if you keep doing what you've been doing, you will eventually get to the weight and the goal that you have. I mean, it's all you do is add time. You have the rhythm, clearly, 39 pounds. Yeah. You're doing it. Great stuff.
Well, thank you. And the other really kind of neat thing she was talking about is when things happen to us, we tend to react. And when we react, often we're doing it on an emotional side. So, somebody brings up some, chocolate as a chocolate temptation. You're at something and there's an event there. And we're very quick to go for that. But what she encourages us to do is to really stop, change your brain basically to more of a logical side versus the emotional side. And then really challenge yourself to figure out what the best course of action is, and then make the choice to do what is right and what is best. So, as far as kind of pausing, she talked a lot about breathing. Sometimes we just need to take a few breaths. Sometimes we just need to stop and drink some water. But just take a few minutes and make that switch in your brain. And, there's a couple of examples, instead of I can't have the chocolate and thinking that I can't have the chocolate, you want to kind of turn that mentality in your mind and say, I choose not to have the chocolate. And I take it away that it's not just I can't, it's I choose to do this for my health. Mm-hmm. And that was really important to hear that. And, there's also going to be occasions where maybe you choose to have that piece of pie, but instead you choose to have half of a piece of pie, and you make that choice. And that way you're not feeling the guilt afterwards of eating that whole entire piece and doing something you really didn't want to do.
Mm-hmm. Ken, when you're saying that, it's interesting when we say, I choose not to have this thing, whatever it is, will be tasty in the moment, but I'll regret later. So I choose to have no regret later. What if we were to just fast forward two thought processes into the future? Once I'm done with this pizza or this candy or this whatever, then how do I want to feel? And I choose that, and I try to, that's one of the things that I go through in my mind is, how do I want to feel after this? Do I want to feel regret, or do I want to feel I nailed it?
Absolutely.
Yep.
I think the last thing, Craig, is she talked a lot about we have to develop ourselves personally, and she promoted a lot of books, and I could list a few of them if you'd like, that was mentioned on that call.
Have you read any of the ones that she recommended or heard of them?
What's funny is I have read one of the books. It's a small, easy read, and one of the callers actually brought it up, and I'll just tell you what it is. It's The 4 Agreements is the name of the book. It's a small book, easy to read. It's done by Don Miguel Ruiz is the author. deals a lot with keeping your word and just being impeccable with your word, and changing over that positive from the negative thinking.
Mm-hmm.
The other book was The Power of Habit
Mm-hmm.
by David Miller. A lot of science I have not read that, but a lot of science involved in this as far as how to changing one habit to the others and the good ones. And you basically doing it over and over again, you develop those new habits. And then the last one that Lisa talked about was called Resilience.
Mm.
And it was written by Navy SEAL, Eric Greitens. I'll have to spell it Greitans. And just talking about great calamity and turning it in and matching it with strength.
Mm. Excellent. Wow. Well, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts and taking the time. Have you previously plugged into any one of these support calls before this opportunity?
No, this is my very first one.
Yeah. Great. So there you can see a library of content that's available for free on demand. And so that might be, I know it's a resource for me that I continually go back and just I got to keep the healthy conversation going on, or who knows, then I start unhealthy conversation, right? So a lot of times when we ask people to come on and share one of these, that's the first experience, even for some coaches. And so then they get a taste of it, because we sort of trick people. You'll do something for somebody else oftentimes before we'll do it for ourselves. But now that we've saw the value, then we're like, ooh, I think I will do some more of that, And so thanks for prepping well and for delivering that to us. I want to toss this out to the gang here, because you've covered some great stuff, just to have a little discussion. So if you guys want to comment on some of these things, or maybe even ask a question for Ken, go ahead and unmute yourself and let's dive in. Looks like Trina, you trying to get on? Yep, you are. Go for it, girl.
I'm just seeing how to do it.
Oh, okay. You did it.
Well, no, it is funny how just yesterday I was having a conversation with a friend of mine, and I've been having a lot of negative, I guess, recently come towards me, like a trainer at one of the gyms, and just people that you don't know saying comments, and it's been making me mad at the time, because it's like, how do you do that? And I'm at the gym. I'm not at the drive-thru. Like I told Kit, it's like, this is the one place you should want to see somebody who, not you want to see them, but it's just like, you see me out of breath, sweating, fighting for my life. So how can you try to make a negative out of that? You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm not here to judge you, so what are you judging me for? Mm-hmm. And I know that it's just like the devil trying to attack as far as making it a negative when it's such a positive for me, and so I had a conversation. My mom, she doesn't work out. She's been like fighting me on eating healthy, and she's been having a lot of sarcastic comments lately. And, at the moment I was mad and fought with, well, are you jealous that you don't work out? You could do it too, basically. And my friend last night, he was just like, why are you taking it personal? You can't get mad about what somebody else is saying to you. Just leave it, at that's their problem, basically, versus you taking it on personally. Because if you don't even believe what they're saying, you wouldn't even have a reaction, basically, in that sense. And
That's
so,
great.
and I had another conversation with my friend. We both have been through something traumatic as kids. And at the time, I had gained weight because I thought I was going to protect myself from what I've been through. And, I was telling her, I said, it's just hard because then it becomes a habit. You're overeating, you pick the wrong food, you have family members when you're younger and you're like forced to eat what they feed you, before you can have a job as a teenager. So it becomes a habit, and then you just feel like you're kind of so deep, you're stuck in a body you don't want to be in. And so I had tried to explain to my mom in a text message, obviously, and I was just like, look, you make fun of me for working out, always eating healthy, choosing to do something that's better for me, but you don't understand why I'm doing it. I'm fighting for not just my life on the health or how I look. It's coming over life experiences.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, I feel that it's better if people start asking, why do I want to eat this? Or why do I want to work out? Ask why, because it all stembles from something. Nobody just, in my opinion, I don't know, but I don't think that that's a good enough reason or excuse to say I'm lazy and I don't want to work out. I just want to sit on the couch, or I want to, stuff my face or whatever. It's like, it's a reason you're doing that. Is it, you don't think, for my mom, I think she doesn't think she's worth it in that sense. Like, she just got a divorce, so she's just like, who do I need to look good for? I said, you think I do this just for my husband? I do this for me,
Mm-hmm.
It's because when I look in that mirror, I'm proud of, working hard. It's more than just looking. It's how you feel, why you're doing it. It's like, it's a mental thing more than just a physical, and because it's just like, some days you wake up and your body's like, okay, let's go. And your mind's like, no, just lay me here.
Yeah.
Then, converse where your mind's like, come on, let's go. And your body's like, oh, I'm so sore. So you have to, in my opinion, tap into both and say, no, we're going to do this. Get up and go do it. And so,
awesome.
I don't know.
Thanks.
When Ken was saying it's a habit, it's like, yeah, it is, because you can get stuck in it, basically.
Yeah. You can stuck in the old habits, and you can get stuck in the new habits as well. Awesome.
Right.
Thanks for sharing. Thanks for being a part of it too. You have a lot of spunk. I can see you're going to add a lot to this. All right.
No choice but to.
Yep. There you go. Linda.
Yeah. Well, first of all, Katrina and Ken, what you guys were sharing is true for all of us. We're just not all either willing to say it, or maybe we're learning it right now about ourselves. And we have those naysayers in our lives. And Ken, what you brought up about Lisa's topic was really prevalent for me too, because I didn't realize how I was not used to pausing the train, like literally what felt like a freight train of thought in my head, because my thoughts just took me to action. And it takes a new type of discipline to slow the train down and pay attention to, I don't have to just go eat this, I can actually choose. And instead of that deprivation mentality, I choose. And how different that is. Because now we're empowering ourselves to say no, because the truth is we can have whatever we want, whenever we want in this country. We have so much available to us, and it's actually freedom to say no. It's not freedom to say yes to whatever I want. And it's taken me a couple of years to learn that, but Ken, I think you nailed it right on the head. And congratulations, bro, on 39 pounds, and congratulations, Trina, on 70. And welcome to the club, welcome to the party, welcome to the family. It's so exciting to.
Can I add something really quick?
Yeah, good.
I know I've kind of been back and forth with the group because I've got a lot of stuff going on, but when in life you're going to meet people, like you're going to be moving and grooving, right? And then you're going to come to wet cement and you're going to get stuck. And there are three kind of people that are going to be in your life. They're going to be people who get you the hell out of the cement. They're going to be people who stand there and pull out their phones and put it on YouTube. And they're going to be people who push you down so that you're on all fours and stuck in the cement. And what's great about the people who are going to help you get out of the cement is that that's the kind of support that you need to surround yourself with. And like I said, I know that I've kind of been back and forth with the group, but anytime I come back, like last Friday, hanging out with you guys for an hour was such an awesome start to my weekend. And today, hanging out with you guys and being able to have Trina talk with you and have Ken here, like when Trina and Ken were both talking about their stuff, like brought tears in my eyes. I can't imagine, like, especially with Trina, if my mom said anything to me like that was unsupportive, I would be, like we're, especially family, like consider us to be family. That's what we're here for. Like just because we're not blood related, we are here to support. Feel free to talk about whatever, like, you had a donut yesterday, like, let's get past it. It's old news, like what's happening today. So just keep that in mind. You guys are doing awesome. Thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate it. Trina, thanks for joining us. Ken, thanks for sharing your stories.
Okay, so.
Excellent. Oh, Linda Gilstrap, did you have something to say? No. Okay. All right, guys. Well, I have. Thank you for sharing. For all of you, good to see you back, Kit. I do look at this as my health family, and this is not only a health family but healthy because we've all decided we're not as healthy as we want to be, and we're going to do something about it together, right? And that's what I love about this community. I'm better when you guys are around, and I'm encouraged, and I leave this call. I look forward to this call before it happens, and I'm excited about it after it happens. So I wanted to bring on Ruth. Ruth's in her mobile office right now with the wind blowing through her hair. And we had a conversation yesterday, and she had a really cool tip about water that I thought would be something that I told her I've never heard that in coaching almost 1,500 people, and I never heard this before. And so, Ruth, you can share that with us. That'd be great. Welcome, Ruth.
Okay, so hi everybody. Glad to be on the board. Sorry, I'm driving and I'm pulling a trailer, and that is out of my comfort zone by far. So I now have to look for my car, but I have to look for room for my trailer behind me. Anyway, so I work at a school, and a lot of times at high school, and a lot of times I am so busy that I forget to drink my water. And so I have a big, tall Starbucks glass that I use, and I decided that in order for me to remember how much water I drank, I actually put a time frame on it. So like at 9 o'clock, I have my first one at school. And then I decided, okay, well, when's another time? So then I decided that I was going to do it at 12 o'clock. So right before lunch. So if I know that I'm behind, I have those times to remind me. And then the third time I do it is at 3 o'clock. So I work from 7 to 3:30. So this is it has helped me remember to drink my water. Before I had decided on the time, I thought, well, which one is this? Is this 1, 2, 3? Then I thought maybe putting little sticky notes on my drink, and then I thought that's too confusing. So then that's why I decided to stick a time to it. Now, granted, I have a full glass at home before I get to work. So by the time 3 o'clock rolls around, I've already got 80 ounces in, and then all I have to do is before 7 o'clock that night when I get home, I have another 20 ouncer. So that's how I get my water in.
That's great. What a great tip. If you're getting behind, because that bottle needs to be empty by noon. It needs to be empty by 3.
You're chugging it.
Like, I just thought that was so simple. And so hopefully that may encourage or help you guys in your health journey. So thanks, Ruth, for sharing with us today. Okay, so next up, I don't know if any of you, if anybody else has a water tip that they wanted to share. Yeah, Angela, I'll unmute you. Go for it.
So what I do, it's goofy, and all of my family and friends make terrible fun of me, which is fine. They can make fun of me all they want. I have hair ties that I've attached to my water bottle, and every time I finish my water bottle, I put a hair tie over it. It's goofy, but it's a visual reminder of, oh, hey, look, I've had 3 bottles of water, or, oh, I haven't had enough at all. So it's a visual reminder for me to do it and get it done, because it's kind of like a to-do list. I feel really good when I get to mark stuff off. And so that's what the hair ties do for me, is I get to put it on my water bottle, and I'm like, yay, look what I did. It's kind of like my own little party. It's goofy, but it works. So
perfect. Yeah, that's a great thing. Well, it's interesting because we think about, I never have driven down the road and some company has a billboard that says, we just discovered the most amazing health thing ever. And then you drive a little more, 2 more miles down the road, and you see another one. We're about to tell you this amazing thing ever. And then 2 more miles down the road, it says, it's drink 80 ounces of water a day. I've never seen that, right? And it's not like something someone can patent. Water is just a healthy habit. We got sleep, right? It's not very, wowy and pizzazzy. It's kind of boring. But oh man, you get quality sleep and you get enough water in your body every day, and just watch how your body starts to come alive and thrive. And so with our program here, the Habits of Health System, we have things that are seemingly boring, but oh my goodness, the results are not boring at all. They're amazing. So excellent, guys. Well, we're gonna transition. We got a couple little health coach conversations to have. So if you're on to your next thing and you have to go, you're welcome. Thank you, Ken, for joining us today. You're welcome to stay on if you've got time. Because all the things we're going to be talking about at this point here is how to build a bigger community, which is how to find more people that aren't as healthy as they want to be, and that can then become part of our community, which means they'll become clients, but they also become partners. And so one of the things to talk about is I want to do a little 2-minute exercise with everybody. So if you have a piece of paper, grab a piece of paper and a pen, of course, or pencil, and we're going to do a quick 2-minute drill. And so I'll give you 30 seconds to get your piece of paper out. And this will be very revealing about when we think about community, when we think about health, and we think about the support structure that's around us. One of the things that's super valuable, and I tell my clients this, or I ask my clients this all the time: who's going to be your health team? Who's going to surround you and become part of your bulletproof team? Whether they become a full Habits of Health client, or whether they just support you on the sidelines. Maybe they're just your walking buddy, or they're your water buddy. Who knows what it is? But if you don't start to include and influence and build that group of people around you, and they stay unhealthy or less healthy than you, the likelihood that this becomes a permanent thing is very low. It just doesn't happen. But if the people around us that we're around a lot start to develop some healthy habits and join us, it's so good. So what I want to do is a 2-minute drill. I got my timer here. What I want you to do is think about the people around you that you know, and write down as many names of people that you know on a first name basis as possible. Ready, go. So make a list of names of people that you know. Halfway. Thirty seconds. Bless you, Kit.
Thank you. Sorry, I don't know why I'm on not mute. Oops.
That was awesome. It was very cute. All right, time's up. All right. So think about, let's all, how many people did you get? I mean, I'm going to count mine up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I got 13. How many did you guys get? Angela, how many did you get? Let's see. I'll unmute you there. Go ahead.
33.
30. Oh my goodness. You know a lot of people. Sweet. How about you, Linda Gilstrap? How many did you get?
Well, I have 10, but then I put my girls at work, so there's about 7 or 8 there that.
Awesome.
I'm
17. That's great. That's great. Kit, how about you?
I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 13.
13. Great job. Ruth, you were driving, so we'll give you a pass. 11 for Dawn. Nicely done. Linda Benson, 3. Nicely done. Ruth, did you have any that came to mind?
Just the whole staff at my school, so 44, but
44.
not counting.
Okay, that's great.
33, Craig. 33.
Oh, good job, Linda.
Not 3. I live with 4 people. I hope I know more than 3 people.
Yeah. Kim Stewart? 25? Okay. I don't know why your audio didn't work. You're off mute, but Trina, did you have some people that you came to your mind?
I don't have a pin.
Oh. Right. But you already talked about your mom, and you talked about a couple people in your life, for sure.
That we're talking about positive people?
Well,
Then
we're
I
just
have
talking about
Kit and Linda.
people that you know. Yeah, well, Kit and Linda, definitely. Yeah. How about you, Ken?
I came up with 11.
11. All right. And so here's the revealing part of this lesson. When you look at that list, was there a criteria that you used of why you wrote those names down that you wrote down? So think about that. Is there something that was in common there? Because I remember the thing I gave you was people that you know by first name. That was the criteria, right? And so can you guys think of some other reasons why you wrote those names down? If you do, let's raise your hand and we'll pull you off mute. Yeah, Don first. Go ahead.
Hey, hi, Craig.
Hi.
Yeah, so my criteria for naming these people was that I have either talked to them about getting healthy and possibly losing some weight, or they are people that I know that need to get healthy and lose weight.
Mm-hmm.
So that is why all 11 people are on my list. They all need to get healthier.
Awesome. Thanks, Don. Okay. Anybody else? Yeah, Ruth. Let's see here. Go ahead, Ruth.
Okay, so these are all people I work with, and at some point, I know they all have some kind of activity in their life already, but I know that I can be touching their lives every single day with a positive note, or just encouraging them on their own journey, as well as if they still need some other guidance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, great. Thanks, Ruth. Yeah. Anybody else have anything to offer? So one of the things, Linda, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I just thought of everybody that I've ever known.
Yeah.
From home to college to now.
So the criteria you used is, I just know these people. Like if you called them and said, "Hi, this is Linda Benson," they wouldn't go, "Who?"
Right.
They'd go, "Oh, hey, Linda." You know?
Correct. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's actually kind of the point of this, because what I did is I had my certain goggles on when I started my health coach practice, and I was looking for people that were overweight, because that's how I got started. And then I found people like Alex and the Preston Box. They weren't overweight, and they've helped so many people. And so I would have missed out on people that could have been a vital part of my own support system that would be an encouragement to other people as well. So some people need help with their health, and it has nothing to do with the number on the scale. It might have to do with emotional health or relational health, or maybe financial health. You know, maybe the their confidence that they'll grow with by working with this team and working with this system is they'll grow some confidence, even if they're at a healthy weight. And that may allow them to apply for a job that they didn't think they could get, which would change their financial situation. Maybe they'll actually get trained as a health coach, and that could help their financial situation. But so we want to just make sure that we're not, I call them fat goggles, that we don't have our fat goggles on when we're looking at people. We're looking at the goggles of caring for people and saying, are they as healthy as they want to be in some area? It's easy to see the external, but who knows? And so when we're talking to people, and this brings me to the topic for today, when we're looking at people on Facebook, or we're talking to people in our lives, if we're narrowing down the criteria to just people that are overweight, we could be missing some people that really, really care about health and have a lot to offer, and can make a difference in other people's lives, including ours. I want to work with and partner with people that are healthier than me. That makes sense, doesn't it? So then they will rub off on me, and they will encourage me. And I want to be that to other people as well. And so I need to be mentored, and I need to be encouraged, and I need to mentor and encourage. And we want to surround ourselves with those kind of people. And so so that's just a little bit of an idea. Now, Ruth has been having a very successful community building on Facebook. And so, Ruth, I'd love for you to share a little bit about what you've been doing to build community and to share what you're doing, share value with other people, and what you're doing, and then we'll talk about what we're going to do with that.
Well, so, I've been doing this for about a year, and my health coach started to be my husband, and then he started to lose too much weight, and I said, no way, you're not going to lose too much weight. I'm going to join too. And his coach is Murray, who is inactive, and so that's why I'm under Craig. Sorry, your name lost my mind. Okay. Anyways.
Which means is since Murray is kind of choosing to do some other things, I've basically reached out and said, Ruth, I'll coach you. I'm now working with you and Jim. So we're now hooked up.
For those of you that might have forgotten. So I've been kind of watching other people, and I've liked other people's Facebook pages, but I've decided that I wanted to be an inspiration or a guide for my friends. And I have lots of friends. It's amazing on Facebook how many friends you can have, even though you don't know them too much. But so like every day I usually post some kind of healthy meal. And I'm really lately into a lot of vegetables. So I'm growing my own garden. I have zucchini and tomatoes and one pickle so far, or I'm sorry, a cucumber. And some gigantic sunflowers. I haven't seen them come out yet, but I've been on this health kick lately that I want to just eat all wholesome, whether it's and get away from dairy and all the pasta and everything. So it kind of goes with what we're doing with Take Shape for Life. And
so healthy recipes one.
So healthy recipes, and then a workout. So in the mornings, I wake up at 5. I go for a 20-minute walk. I come home, and for about 10 minutes, I'm doing some stretches. So I'm not doing any weightlifting. So I usually try to post whether it's sit-ups or something that you can do from the office, or just something really quickly that doesn't take a lot of weights or having to be involved in a gym.
Mm-hmm. So recipe, workout, and
then just kind of a motivation. So I've been involved with church for a long time, and my dad's a missionary, so I'm a PK. So I always either try to give some kind of support, whether it's biblical or it's some kind of motivational, positive outlook. And so a couple times I've already posted like we had this long day at school, and I had to eat earlier and then go to work at 11. And I posted what I had for breakfast, and I had a response from somebody that is skinny who posted, and I said, I had this great oatmeal, blueberries, a lot of antioxidants, no artificial flavors. And I said, what was your breakfast? So this person who responded, who's super skinny, said she had popcorn. So I couldn't really relate to that. And then, of course, when I posted myself, kind of like what some of the other people are doing on
Well, this
our
is the
team.
fourth thing you're doing. So this is the fourth sort of messaging that you're doing.
Yeah. So,
And it's the pictures of her progress.
Of pictures of my progress. So this same person who ate popcorn responded and said, hey, what are you doing? And she's not the only one. I've had a couple of people at my work. And I finally just said, well, is it for you? Because I'm more up to just tell them my why or my what instead of finding out and being involved in their life. So my issue is that I want to take them from Facebook and put them on a phone, and that's the struggle I'm having.
Yeah. And so let me just kind of unpack. Thank you, Ruth, by the way. So great. Do any of you guys have any comments about that before I transition into how we're going to talk about? Yeah, Linda, let's see. I'll unmute you. There you go.
Yeah. First of all,
Two Lindas. Linda
goes first.
I'm going to call you Benson from now on.
That's what my basketball coach called us. Older Linda can go first.
Oh, well, thank you for that, younger Linda.
You're more wise anyway, so go for it, girl.
The Facebook post that I have a lot of trouble with is the people that are posting junk. I mean, some of the recipes they're posting are just like gooey bacon and showing their hamburgers at the Red Robin, and I don't want to judge. I just don't like it, give them the little like sign. But how do you kind of get around that without, I just, that's all I wanted to say about that.
Sure.
It's very frustrating when we're trying to be healthy and you got to look at all that stuff. Not that it's tempting at all. It just turns my stomach, really.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing is we work with the people that want to be healthier, and that those people that are posting pictures of that yummy yet not tasty. Think about this. They just don't know that you can have yummy and healthy and yummy. They're just satisfied. They're settling for only yummy. And it's just because they just don't know that you can have both. Right? Why settle for only yummy when you can have yummy and healthy? Right? And so I think those are great people to have. Think of this, Linda. Those are great people to have friends, and you start posting stuff that's not only wonderfully yummy and tasty, but here's why it makes me feel awesome. Right? And they may start liking or seeing your stuff, and because why settle for only tasty? Unless you just don't know any difference. But you are a resource, and you do know the difference. They just think that healthy means it's not tasty, right? So that's what I would say is, just keep focusing on what you're doing, and the people that they'll come along. I think everybody eventually will come to a realization that they're just not as healthy as they want to be, and they're ready to do something about it. I mean, we all came along, right? Benson, you're up.
Am I okay? Good question, Linda, the elder. Not older, elder. And Ruth, I love your question. First of all, I want you to know, Ruth, is she listening? Make sure she's listening. Great, because I can't see her. Ruth, you saying that you get up at 5 and you go on a 20-minute walk just clicked with me that I need to get up early and go on my walk. Like, yes, I'm pregnant, but I'm starting to feel a little better. And I've been thinking about it. And the fact that you do it just inspired me to do something.
Awesome.
I want you to know that. So thank you for doing that. And then the other thing, Ruth, and maybe this is a conversation for another time, but what I have found to be most helpful is responding back, like if you're in a message with someone, is, well, tell me more about what you're looking to accomplish. What are some of your health goals? Because now we're taking it from weight to just what's your overall health goals? Because we honestly don't know. So you get to be inquisitive and start asking them questions, and then taking it to the phone. The simplest thing that I do is say, well, we can see if what I coach is a match or not. It might not be, and that's okay. But the best way to find that out is there's a couple of health and wellness evaluations that I send out to everybody, and it really helps them focus on what's important to them. And then we can review it and see if what I coach is a match for you. And then I just shoot that over on the messenger, and then we take it to the Zoom or phone after that. Mm-hmm. And that's been really helpful. Yeah. I don't know if that even made sense, but.
No, it does. And I'll unpack that a little bit more. Thanks, Linda. Thanks, Benson and Linda. So I just, in the chat message, there's how to take people from Facebook to the phone. There's a little link there, and it's basically people, because people are in a process of warming up and building trust with you, because, there's a lot of people out there that are trying to trick people into just buying something that will benefit the person selling it, which we don't sell stuff. And it may or may not be of value to the person buying it. And we are building relationships with people, and then we have different tools that we're using that really do work, right? And so from that standpoint, we need to take it to more of a relationship. And so we want to get it from the, hey, so when someone likes a post of yours, they're saying, I want you to know, because could someone like it without pushing the like button? Think about it. Of course, I can like stuff all day long. I can smile, I can laugh at it. But when I push that like button, I did something different. I want you to know that I liked it. Well, why would I want to do that? Well, I don't know. I just wanted you to know. So if we are able to actually think about what really happened there, they wanted you to know that they liked something that you posted. And so replying with, hey, thanks for liking the photo of me, or liking that recipe. How are you doing? So memorize that. How are you doing? I know it's hard, but that could be your next question. How are you doing? I'm doing fine. I sure loved that recipe, blah, blah, blah. Oh, man, yeah, I've been really working on healthy recipes and I'm feeling great. What's going on with you? And you just sort of let the conversation go where it goes. But usually you end up building a relationship, and you build some trust and you build some familiarity. And the reason why they liked it, if it was a healthy post or a healthy picture or a healthy something, is because they're probably not as healthy as they want to be, and they're aware of it. And so you may not realize this, but even for Ken and people that aren't health coaches that are on the call today, you have resources that are real, and you're getting results that you may have thought impossible. And so we have so much value to offer. It's not fairy tale stuff. This is real life change stuff. And so by taking it from the Facebook, from the little light touch, to a conversation, hey, let's catch up. Hey, what's going on? Obviously, the backdrop of that conversation is going to be somewhat health related, because they clicked on your health related post. So taking it from Facebook to a phone call is when you can actually get to know them, and when you can find out what's going on. And then you might go into like, hey, let's see if this is a good fit. Let's find out a little bit more than just that you want to lose weight. Let's find out what else is going on, because you probably lost weight and it came back. Well, because there's probably more going on than just the weight loss. And that's what I love about our program, is it addresses the whole individual, and not just merely how much you weigh or the number on the scale. So, and I'm going to finish off here with this, the value of a three-way call. We in our coaching program, we call it team coaching. And many of you have done this with me, where you have a client that hit a milestone or doing something great, and you set up a meeting with me. So guess what? I get to do one thing. I get to edify you as a coach. I get to be encouraged by the progress of your client. And I also get to see how you're doing with your skills as a coach. So I'm evaluating a number of different things in that call. But the most important thing that I'm trying to do is I'm trying to see, does this coach have the skills necessary to go where they want to go? What's missing? And what do I need to train on? So when we bring on our clients to these three-way calls, I get to do some skills check, I get to edify you, and I get to be encouraged by this person, which encourages them too. And so there's a lot of things going on there. And so moving people to the three-way call, one of the things that works really well and that I'm learning and reinforcing is that when you first have that interview with them, of saying, at some point in your journey, we're going to meet up with my coach, and it'll happen at different times because he's always wanting to hear about people's success stories. So you just let them know that that's going to happen. Usually I like to do it when they hit fat burn. Usually I like to hit it when they're done with the first month. So a couple of times fairly early. But if you set it up in advance that this is going to happen, it's just what we do, then when you say, hey, next week I'm going to have my coach on the phone with us because you're killing it, and he wants to celebrate and learn and get to know you a little better, it won't be a weird thing because you've already told him that that's part of the journey. And I just learned this yesterday. This is powerful. I never saw this. One of the things it does for the client, it provides greater accountability because they get to know you and they become very familiar. But when their coach, which would be me, is on the phone, and it's almost like, ooh, I'm not just going to be talking with Linda. I'm going to be telling Linda's coach about how I'm doing. Ooh, well, that's a little bit more accountability there. And so in the end, it ends up helping them stay on program a little bit better because they know that there's more than just Linda out there. Linda has a coach too. And guess what? Linda's coach has a coach too. And so I never realized that about that third level of accountability there that can really end up helping them personally with their goals. So a lot to think about here. Just as a recap, we talked about water. We talked about some things to do on Facebook, posting a healthy recipe, posting an interesting workout, a motivational quote. And then I think the thing that Ruth is doing that's really great is she's posting progress of photos of her. Here's where I was, and here's how it's a complete photo. She's adding to that. And that's been really powerful. The other thing that's happening is then it's a matter of liking the likes and commenting on the comments and just getting to know those people that wanted you to know that what you did was valuable to them. And then taking that to the phone and having a conversation. You know, they may never be clients, but hopefully they're going to be people that we build community with. Because clearly if they're commenting on healthy related posts, they're interested in healthy related things. So those are a couple things. Ken, thanks so much for your help. I hope that maybe this inspired you. What is funny is the last 20 or 25 minutes, we've been talking about health coach related stuff. But as you can see, it's all the same stuff. We're all trying to figure out how to be healthy, and we're trying to build our community. We just chose to do it professionally, but we're helping other people with their journey, which then ends up helping us, and we all just kind of feed off each other because I'm playing for keeps, right? And so for those of you that don't know, we do have a health coach training course that you can go through, and you can get certified as a health coach, and you can build your own health coach practice. And then you can be here as a health coach. And so a lot of people will do that part-time. I find that the number one reason why people do it is as a health coach, you have a greater level of accountability because you know that people are watching you and you're responsible for helping for owning your own stuff and modeling that to others. And you know what? That's one of the reasons why I signed up. I think my health is too important to take this lightly. So I'm going to be a professional health coach, which is going to help me be a professional, healthy person, if you will. So awesome. Well, we're just at the top of the hour here. So I want to thank you all. Next week, we're going to have our same call, same time. You're welcome to join back in. Ken, if you can make it on Fridays, you're welcome to tune back in. A couple other pieces on Wednesdays at 5 p.m. Pacific. There is the Habits of Health webinar. We had 350 people on this week. I hosted it with the Preston Box about activity and or exercise, the differences between movement and activity and planned activity or exercise. So you can see that on a podcast. But every week we have that Habits of Health at 5 Pacific. And then we do this at 9 Pacific a.m. each Friday. So thank you all for your support and your participation. And I wish you a happy, healthy weekend. Thanks, guys. Take care, everybody.